How's it going, everybody? I'm Eric Keaton, and welcome to the For All podcast right here at SPCA Tampa Bay, broadcasting from Largo, Florida, our shelter, and later on down at our veterinary center in St. Pete. Well, we have a lot to catch up with because remember our last podcast, we had to let it go with Elsa. Not much of a hurricane or tropical storm event, kind of came and went. So we have a few stories that we have to look back on and catch up for our audience out there. But like all of our podcasts, we have to start out with the animals. And this weekend, we're going to be back at the Rowdies. So we have a preview. Who is going to be our Rowdies Dog of the Week? Laura and Camille have him out at the playground.
Hey everybody, I'm Camille and this is Laura in our Rowdies Dog of the Week, Dahmu. Laura, what can you tell us about Dahmu?
Dahmu is one of our longer term residents at this point. He was owner surrendered to us when his owner could no longer take care of him. He has experience living with other dogs and small children. He's fairly high energy, but once you get him out, he does really well on a leash. He also loves sports, especially soccer.
That's awesome. So he'll be great at our Rowdies game this weekend. All right. Well, this is Dahmu. Thank you, Laura. And back to you, Eric.
Thank you, ladies. And thank you, Dahmu. Of course, Matt, who's over there on the controls, was with Dahmu this morning making our Rowdies Dog of the Week video. And he said that Dahmu definitely has a lot of energy. But he's been here a while, and hopefully he'll be adopted sometime during the week, maybe on that Sunday following the game. Of course, we have other adoptable animals, and the person who can share that with us is Sharon Sharp, because Sharon has all the buttons ready to click on our website. How's it going, Sharon?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Man, that pet of the week was adorable, Dahmu.
Yeah, I like the name. Google the name. Dahmu for those watching on YouTube and Facebook Live. And I think it's an interesting definition for the name, depending on which dictionary you go to. But instead of dogs, let's talk about cats, Sharon, before we talk about more adoptable animals. Let's talk about cats because that's a big topic right now for our veterinary center.
Always. So yeah, I want to show off some information that we put out on our website just recently. If you go to our homepage, we've got a very important article about cats and vet visits here. So one of the misconceptions that some people have is that indoor cats don't need regular vet checkups because they're not exposed to some of those environmental things that outdoor cats are. But indoor cats also benefit a lot from regular checkups because it'll help your vet establish things like a healthy weight, that they've had throughout time and be able to catch changes faster that might, show you underlying health conditions that you might not be aware of. Preventatives are still very important as well because it just takes one mosquito to get in your door and then poof, you potentially have heartworm if your pet hasn't been on a regular regimen. So yeah, cats getting to the vet, that's a big one. And one that we forget about sometimes. I've got 2 cats myself and it can be really hard to get them there.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go off topic here because you mentioned mosquitoes and flies. Being down here in Florida, man, those things, when they get into the house, it's like you need a traffic control. Yep. Because you start, it just drives you nuts. I can only imagine what it does to the animals as well.
Yeah.
But
you don't even think about how quick they can get in the house and just start wreaking havoc.
Yeah. And then you could make a whole TikTok video, which we'll watch later, not of me with the fly swatter or anything trying to catch them because, man, they just get on my nerves for some reason. I'm pretty sure for some other folks too. But you mentioned the veterinary center, and later on we're going to be talking with a couple of doctors from the Lincoln Memorial University about the shortage of vet techs, veterinarians, their great master's program that they're starting. And that means we have a shortage here too. We'd like to see more people apply for any of our positions that we have open here at SPCA Tampa Bay, at the shelter and at the veterinary center. I guess we're in line with all other positions out there and all other organizations. Everybody seems to be in the hiring mode.
Yep. I'm hearing a lot about that as businesses are starting to open back up and the demand is back. There aren't enough staff to fill those positions. So yeah, let me draw everyone's attention to our careers page here. It's under the About tab on our homepage, and we're hiring for all sorts of positions with all sorts of experience levels. both at our Largo shelter and our St. Petersburg veterinary clinic. So at our Largo shelter, we're hiring veterinary technicians, which is a super cool position that does a lot of good to help animals. Well, all these positions help animals, obviously, but vet tech's a pretty interesting one because you're very hands-on. Intake counselors, which provide so many important services here. And then animal welfare counselors, which are really our day-to-day, like they're the ones on the ground feeding and cleaning and just all that good hard work that goes into making sure all our pets are healthy and happy. And then over at the vet center, we're hiring both certified and non-certified veterinary technicians. So this gives a lot of availability for people that are looking for some positions with varying degree levels and training levels. And then we're also hiring a dual role, which is a medical assistant and client care specialist. So you're a little bit front of house, a little bit back of house, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's very easy to apply. Just click on that and follow the instructions. And, you know, they go through a hiring process that's normal, a week or two. Mm-hmm. And if we can't get the background checks and work for an outstanding organization, been around 80 plus years, great benefits as well, working for SPCA Tampa Bay, whether it's here or down in St. Pete, because they get to take care of all those animals that we have up for adoption, Sharon.
Yep. We have so many cool critters come in here that you would just, you don't get to meet and help these type of species in every job. I mean, it's really one of the big perks of this is just the unique experiences you get and the things that you get to help with.
And we still have our big critters. We still have a couple of pigs. We're trying to find them homes. And I know, talk a little bit about what you've been doing, trying to make some additional mini posters and the postings on Facebook that Ashley's done as well.
Sure. So a lot of people that haven't had pigs before don't know just how cool of pets they are. And you can find our pigs under our Adopt Critters page here. Let's see. There we go. We got Cassio and Wilbur here. So what we've been doing is trying to tell people that may not have had a pig before about all the cool things that they can do, like how smart they are, how trainable they are, just what wonderful, loving, cuddly pets. You wouldn't think a pig is cuddly, but cuddly pets they can be. And then also there are a lot of programs around here that like raising pigs as learning experiences through agricultural programs and stuff. So we're also trying to reach out to those communities to see if anyone would be ready to give a loving home and grow with a pet pig.
And Sharon, we have one of our ambassadors has a pig. One of the
Deputy Savage, right?
Yeah, from Pinellas County. And our ambassadors, there's our new class, and you can find. I think you scroll down a little bit there. He was right there.
Was he? I was looking. Yeah, there he is.
Yeah,
criminally cute. Yeah, that pig was picked up on the street, and Deputy Savitz came to help us out, and it was love at first sight.
Yeah, the ambassador section is a great place to go to learn how to get involved with SPCA Tampa Bay. Sharon, as always, great topics. Anything else to add for this podcast?
No, go check out our pets. And if you're looking for a career, check out our career page and pass it on to your friends. Share on social, whatever.
All right, Sharon. Talk to you later online. Thank you very much.
Bye. She
is broadcasting from that undisclosed location. All right, you saw where to find our ambassadors on our Get Involved page. And we are behind on our stories. We've been meeting with our ambassadors like Martukovich. He's a local accountant, has a big firm. And of course, he has a love for his pet family. Here's more about him.
Hi, I'm Mark Martukovich, and I'm an ambassador for the SPCA Tampa Bay. I think it's very important to be an ambassador for the SPCA because it's an organization that has been around a long time and is doing a lot of good for the animals that need our help and need our attention. Because I own my own business and we own the building, we bring our pets to the office every day. We also encourage our staff to do the same. And our clients love this. Our clients have a connection to the animals. In fact, when they come in, they're always looking for them and asking where they are. And they bring smiles to our client's face, and it really makes it a good, homey feel to the office. And I have 3 dogs that are all part of my family. You can come to work with us every day. They are our security team. Darla was a rescue from the SPCA Tampa Bay, and she was likely abused. But now she's the most loving dog. Every day they make us smile one way or the other. So one day I brought my wife Rose to the kennel to see a long-haired dachshund as a possible addition to the family. After seeing that one, we decided to go through the kennels to see who else was there. and we found Darla. She was cowering in the corner and shaking and afraid of everything. Rose said to me, "That's the dog that needs our love," and we brought her home. The first year was challenging as she was afraid and was a runner. But over time, with the love from her people, she's become the most affectionate dog we've ever had. Don't tell my wife this, but she was right to look beyond the obvious choice and find our Darla.
Thank you, Mark, for sharing your story with us. And we have many more ambassadors that we have been meeting with, the current class and our past classes. And we're going to have all of those on our podcast coming up in the very near future. And also you can go to YouTube and catch the replay of this broadcast as well. And you can catch those individual stories on the ambassadors. And remember to go to our website if you have a story idea or you'd like to be an ambassador, you think you qualify as one of the candidates. And obviously you can see from Mark's personality and his story with his animals, he definitely qualifies for all the great things he's doing in the community. Just send us an email at podcast@spcatampabay.org. All right, we're going to take a for all moment. Take a little break. When we come back, I'm going to be talking to two representatives, two doctors from Lincoln Memorial University about their new veterinary program. Stay with us.
All shapes, colors, species, breeds, ages, situations, welcome here. Shelter care training, so pets are safe and healthy. We're here for you, have no fear. A place for our community, for creatures big and small. SPCA Tampa Bay for all. Dogs, cats, pocket pets, reptiles, livestock, birds and wildlife too. No matter where you come from or what you've been through, we are here for you. A place for our community, for creatures big and small. SPCA Tampa Bay for all.
Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I'm Eric, joined by two doctors from Lincoln Memorial University in Tennessee, and also broadcasting from Fort Worth, Texas, but they also have facilities out in Virginia. We're talking to Dr. Butterbrodt and also Dr. Fogelberg. Ladies, welcome to the SPCA Tampa Bay For All podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Dr. Butterbrodt, how did this new program get started for veterinary education at a higher level?
Our school is one of the newer veterinary schools in the country at this time. And when we began about 6-7 years ago, one of our academic deans, Dr. John Descanio, came to me. My doctorate is in education. I'm not a veterinarian, I'm an educator. And he said, we have some fabulous veterinarians on our staff, and I would take my animal to any of our doctors. But some of them aren't familiar with teaching. And it's very different to treat an animal than it is to teach another person how to treat an animal. And there is training going on for veterinarians in education, but there's not been anything formal. So he had me look into degrees, and I spent a month or two searching the country for a master's of education degree, because veterinarians already have a doctorate. I mean, they're well-educated people. Right. So we're not looking for a bachelor's, we're looking for a master's level in education. I found some for physicians. I found masters of education for nurses, for pharmacologists, for legal lawyers, people in the legal profession. But there was nothing specifically for veterinarians. The only program I found was in England, actually, at the Royal Veterinary College. Now, several places offer certificates and they offer training, but it's not a degree. It's not a college degree in education focused on veterinary medicine. So Dr. Descanio and I got together with a bunch of very smart people and came up with a curriculum, and they brought on Dr. Fogelberg, who has amazing credentials, and said, here you go, set it up.
And Dr. Fogelberg, being an Army veteran, train the trainers. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're also the director of the Center for Innovation in Veterinary Education and Technology. I think in years past, whenever I was getting involved in this business, I would just see the director of veterinary medicine. How is the technology and the innovation helping out with this new program?
Well, first of all, it's an all online program, which makes it really accessible for our working professionals. So they can do it asynchronously. They don't have to be in a classroom or online at any given time. I apologize if you hear noise in the background. My cat is probably acting up.
No. We're used to all that here at the shelter.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, we're really fortunate to have a group of faculty and staff at Lincoln Memorial who are interested in finding new ways to help veterinarians be better and help better the profession as a whole. And one of the ways that we can do that is through teaching our veterinarians how to teach, because as most people are aware, excuse me, whether you're in veterinary medicine or business or law or any of those, when you go to university to teach, you're not really told how to do that in a way that's really effective. And so we saw this as an opportunity to really expand on that and sort of enter and create a niche for ourselves that wasn't being created anywhere else.
Dr. Fogelberg, is there a shortage right now also on the teaching side? Because I often hear that there is a shortage for vet techs and veterinarians.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's not only a shortage of veterinarians in clinical practice and in specific areas, but other non-clinical career areas in veterinary medicine, including academia, have a huge shortage. So part of that has to do with, salaries. You can make a little bit better salary when you're in clinical practice than you can in academia. But a lot of people come to academia because they want to influence the next generation of veterinarians. They want to influence the profession, but they aren't always aware of the best ways to do that in the classroom. And so that's where this program comes in.
Dr. Butterbrodt, when you look at the ideal candidate, what do they look like? Because I know a lot of people are going off to college. I'm getting ready to send my son off to college, and a lot of them now do their 4 or 5 years, and then they stay right in and get a master's. Is that the ideal persona for this program, or is it somebody who's probably been a veterinarian privately or for a shelter for a number of years, and now they're ready to take this program?
The answer is yes. This program is designed for the practicing veterinarian who's ready to move into academia, either because they have some burnout in their practice or because, as Dr. Fogelberg said, they're excited about sharing their knowledge with others. It's also for those who, in their veterinary school, recognize that they want to become an educator. And so it's even possible for this online program to be done during the 4 years of veterinary school. So that's an option we've discussed several times. Someone right out of school in practice that realizes it's not quite what they expected it to be, and they might be in a better position to focus on what they know well and share that with others. There are a lot of scenarios as to people that this program would fit.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that we're also targeting veterinary technicians because they're a huge part of the veterinary profession. So we do require a minimum of a bachelor's degree, and not every veterinary technician has a bachelor's degree. But for those who choose to pursue a bachelor's degree, whether it's in veterinary technology or something else, and are working in the profession, if they want to join this program, they're also encouraged to apply, because we do have veterinary technicians on staff and faculty throughout veterinary schools, and there are veterinary technician programs where they're needed as well.
Yes.
Dr. Fogelberg, would this be ideal for veterans coming over and leaving the service after a while to get into and be an educator?
Yeah, absolutely. As Dr. Butterbrodt said, this is a program that's really available to anybody in the veterinary profession who really wants to learn how to teach and learn sort of the basic premises of what good education looks like. Again, as long as they have a bachelor's degree, they're welcome to apply to the program. And so we really want to encourage a wide swath of diverse folks coming into this program.
Dr. Butterbrodt, I'm guessing this question is probably more for you, but a lot of people may have not heard of Lincoln Memorial University. What else can you tell us about it? I know a lot of people were asking me, where is it located? We said at the top, Tennessee, Virginia, and obviously online. But what else can you tell us about LMU?
I love going to conferences and people ask me, how are things in Nebraska? Well, I wouldn't know. I've never been there.
Or Illinois.
Yeah. Lincoln Memorial has been around since 1897. It was funded by the Lincoln Foundation. After Abraham Lincoln died, his followers created a fund that would help set up education in areas that actually remained loyal to the North during the Civil War. And in this area, we are right where Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee come together. Any historian would have heard of the Cumberland Gap. We are right at the Cumberland Gap. And the college, like I said, has been here since 1897, so it's over 120 years. In the past 25 to 30 years, past couple of decades, we've had a funder who has really started pushing our graduate programs. We now have a medical program, an excellent DO school. We have a law program, and we have higher educational doctorate level programs, and now the veterinary program. So it has really expanded as a graduate school a lot. And of course, we have wonderful undergrad programs as well.
Last question I have for either one of you. How do we get more people involved, not necessarily also in the master's program, but just to becoming a vet tech and also a veterinarian? How do we get them involved in this field?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's one that we're all sort of struggling with. I think a lot of it has to do with finding mentors in the field, finding people who are willing to say, hey, this is a really great profession. We're doing some research with veterinary technicians in particular, and I think a lot of people sort of think of veterinary technicians as people who wanted to go to vet school but couldn't get in or something like that. And that's absolutely not the truth. Veterinary technicians, 99% of them do it because they love animals and they want to work directly with animals and take care of patients, and they're great at what they do and they're smart, and we really couldn't run this profession without them. So I think just providing students who are maybe interested in veterinary medicine but maybe are concerned about the high debt load that they're going to incur, and saying, hey, have you thought about maybe being a veterinary technician? You get to work with animals a little bit more. You get to do the patient care. You still get to talk to clients, or you can work in an academic institution and hear opportunities. Recruiting for the MVED and sort of talking to folks in the field. I've had many technicians email me who have bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, or they're in really high ranking leadership positions. So I think providing opportunities for people to get out there and let people know what they do and why it's so important. And exactly the same thing for veterinarians, right? Dr. Butter wrote, just making sure there is a variety of people in the field saying this is what we do. You don't have to go into clinical practice if you don't want to. There's other options, and you still get to be a vet and do all the great things that a veterinarian does and learns.
One thing we have here at LMU that I'm real impressed with is the outreach to children. And I don't mean 3-year-olds. I mean middle school and high school. Our practitioners go to the schools or have students come to our facility out at the farm in Virginia and show the students it's not all about, oh, cutesy, let's have puppies today, but they actually see what the veterinarians do. They may see a trauma situation. They may see through the window, they may see a surgery going on. They'll see the techs handling all of these animals in the kennels, and they get to actually see what these people do. And with that reality check, while some of them who, I've always wanted to be a veterinarian, you've heard that, I did too.
Right, yeah.
But they get to actually see it's not all fun and games. Here's the reality of it, and recognize it is a career, it is a job, it is hard work, but is it ever so fulfilling? Yeah. And that's real important, is getting people when they're making the decision, what do you really want to be when you grow up? Well, here's what it's like.
Yeah. So you mentioned children, and I consider everybody, and it's a lot of folks who are younger than me, when they're hired here at SPCA Tampa Bay and they talk about their university experience, and I'm like, I get jealous. I didn't have that type of hands-on experience. Can you talk about some of that curriculum with the hands-on? Because I've been to your website and I've seen it's not just dogs and cats. You mentioned the farm. Talk about some of those activities that the students get to have while at LMU.
When we started our school, we had 100 acres of an actual farm out in Virginia that's about 10 miles from the main campus. There is a herd of cattle. There is a herd of 20-something horses. We have local sheep farmers and other camelids and chickens. We have all kinds of stuff. This is a rural area. So our curriculum includes all species. As far as the hands-on, one of the innovations of our school when we opened was our day one, the students walking in the door, their first day of class, they are doing manipulatives, whether it's reaching into a bag to find the 4mm marble instead of the 6mm marble, and all these things that later lead to the cattle palpation and so forth. They are doing one of my favorite skills to watch with the first year is handling a mad cat. And they're taught how to do that. Now, remember, I'm not a veterinarian, so to you guys, that's regular stuff, but it was great fun for me to watch, not to do, but to watch. But our students are actually doing, we have an amazing staff person, I guess, who creates models. And we have what has been created here. We call it the LMuterus. And the LMuterus is a spay model that they actually do on it's not plastic, it's very skin-like, but the manipulatives that they have here make moving to real animals very comfortable. I've done this 5 times. I kind of know what I'm doing. And it helps a lot with the actual transition from the manipulatives to the live animals.
Awesome. And Dr. Fogelberg, one more time, since we're wrapping up this portion of the podcast, I'm a veterinarian. I'm ready to get involved in this new master's program. How do I find out more information, and how long am I going to be online till I can say I'm ready to teach and train the trainers?
Sure. Yeah. So they can go to our website for the veterinary medicines program, the College of Veterinary Medicine, and find us under the research tab. Or they can actually email me directly at catherine.fogelberg@lmu.net, and I can get in contact with them and give them some information. I have lots of people inquiring, and I actually have a meeting with another prospective student coming up next week. So they're welcome to email me at any time, and I'm happy to have a conversation with them about that. The program is for a full-time student is going to be done in about 2 years. So, and that's with summers off. So you would be taking basically 3 classes a semester for 2 years, and you would be done. It's a 32 to 34 hour credit hour program, depending on which electives you choose. And then for our students who want to go part-time and maybe want to do 1 or 2 classes, it's going to take you 3 to 4 years to finish up the degree.
Awesome information. And we'll get that on our podcast, all the information, the description, and the links where they need to go. Dr. Fogelberg, Dr. Butterbrodt, and Dr. Fogelberg, thank you for joining the PAWDCAST here at SPCA.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
For some, a second chance seems too good to be true. But with devoted shelter care and the right nutrition, second chances are real. And you're making them happen for thousands of pets every day. Because when you buy a bag of Hills, you also give a bowl to a shelter pet. At Hills, science creates differences you can see, feel, and trust. Join us. Hills, a step ahead for their best life.
And welcome back to the final segment of the podcast. Really enjoyed that conversation with the 2 doctors, and going to enjoy this one with Camille Harkenreide from our veterinary center down there. That's right, magically. Oh, look at the ears. You're getting into character.
Yeah. It's part of the attire for the Staff Olympics that we're having here today.
Which will probably be the only Olympics on the planet. It's some Staff Olympics the way things are going.
Yeah.
Tell us more what's going on down there in St. Pete at the Veterinary Center Staff Olympics, because they are learning something.
Yes, yeah. It's going to be a big day today for all of the staff here. Everyone's gonna be a part of it. So the client care specialists, the vet techs, the vets, It's going to be a lot of fun. Stacy, the manager here, has put together a really special schedule for their staff meeting today. And they're going to go head-to-head in competitions like e-collar assembly and fecal scoops using pudding. So it's definitely going to be a fun afternoon for everybody.
Definitely the words that we're sharing here on this podcast. The whole Lincoln, the LMU uterus that went right over my head. Something maybe for the top 10 searches that will come up later. But during that Olympics, folks, trust us, it's great team building for the vet techs, the doctors. They're all learning how to work better together, which in turn helps your pets out there as well. Definitely. So what else can you tell us, Camille? How can people learn more about the Veterinary Center? It's got to be their outstanding Facebook page.
Yeah. So let's take a look at that. It's something new that we are working on sharing with everybody and trying to get everybody
trying to build that audience.
Yeah, we're trying to build that audience.
50,000 followers like we have here at SPCA Tampa Bay, but the Veterinary Center, we're at least trying to get it up there to 3,000, and it's growing because somebody like you is pushing more buttons now.
Yeah, so you can check us out at SPCA Tampa Bay Veterinary Center on Facebook. Just pop that into your search button up here, and this is where we post any important announcements, like about our podcast. We introduce you to our awesome staff here at the Vet Center, like Stacy. And of course, we have to post adorable photos of all of the clients that come through our doors. So lots of cool things that we do here on the Facebook page. Give us a follow and stay plugged into all the things that are going on here at the Vet Center.
Outstanding, Camille. Great work. And of course, all of us are trying to work on our TikTok and grow that as well. I think maybe we're approaching 200 followers. We're just starting out. But in case those watching out there and viewers watching this on replay have not seen any of our TikToks, Matt has a couple, or at least one pulled up, and this is what you're missing. Go ahead, Matt. Let's see what we got.
This is my age. This is my sign. This is where I live and what I like. This is where I'm from and what I do. This is what I love. How about you?
Camille, do you have a TikTok channel?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the answer from Matt is a big no. I don't either. So we're 0 for 3. Matt, you have any more for TikTok? Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought he was going to correct me and say, no, I do have a TikTok channel. But he said, I'm going to roll in a second video. Let's see what we have here.
I had so many cute outfits planned for this year that I couldn't wear. So I just wanted to show you. See this? I love it. I couldn't wear it. Love it. Couldn't wear it. Then there's this. Love it. Couldn't wear it. Love it. Couldn't wear it. And this was supposed to be my cute costume, but...
I love that.
That one is, I think I've seen another TikTok video, not ours with the rabbit, but it was somebody else just doing different clothes and everything. But that is hilarious. I like ours a lot better with the pocket pets. All right, so you're down at the Veterinary Center. We already talked about the Rowdies Dog of the Week. We saw you earlier with Dahmu. Tell us a little bit more about where you and our organization is going to be in the next couple of weeks as we get through July and August.
Definitely. We have a lot of special events coming up with our awesome partners like Salvation Army, Macy's, Great Explorations. And over the next couple of weeks, we're getting together with them to put on some really cool events to bring awareness to the SPCA and what we do, and maybe even take out some of our furry friends to meet the community. So really excited about those.
Yeah, that'd be some great partners in the Salvation Army and Macy's. And I think we just got one today from Valpak. So yeah, we're throwing out all these corporations without them sponsoring or going to our SPCATampaBay.org and hitting the donate today button. But yes, I'd say at least once a week, we're getting in a big, one of the big companies from around the area as they're letting people back in and requesting. They always request animals. And sometimes the environment is good for that and sometimes not. But like Camille said, we will definitely have plenty of information about how they in turn can come and volunteer for us, because we have great volunteers for SPCA TampaBay.org. And if you're interested in that, either go to our website and send us an email at information@SPCATampaBay.org, or for this program, podcast@SPCATampaBay.org. Now, it's time for my favorite part, because I'm the only one entertained. Maybe Matt, maybe my kids, if I explain it to them. It's our top 10 searches that you would not believe people are looking for here at SPCATampaBay.org. Let's go to our first one. You still with me, Camille?
I'm still with you.
All right, so here we go. Our first one, and some of these are legit. Adopt a Senior Cat campaign. That's legit, right? You could scroll on our website and find a senior cat. Not really a senior cat, meaning probably 7, 8, 9 years of age and older. The campaign, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why it's a campaign.
Yeah, I don't know if there was such a thing at any point in time, but there should
Unless
be.
the cat is running his own campaign to get adopted. That could be it. All right, the next one. This is a good one. Adopt a rescue greyhound.
Oh,
Haven't seen any greyhounds here and since I've been with SPCA Tampa Bay. But if you go to our website right now, you can find, we have some German Shepherds. We've had Weimaraners through here before, obviously some Labs, all kinds of different animals. It's just not that one set breed that most people think are at shelters. So that's another good one. I'll leave this one for you, Camille. Can you read this one, number 8?
Definitely. Cookies and Cream Bunny for adoption.
What?
I
Yes.
love it.
I mean, come on. It's like a Ben and Jerry's ice cookies and cream bunny for adoption. Bunnies don't eat ice cream. But if you go to our website right now, though, I'm pretty sure we do have some that look like the cookies and cream flavor, right?
The coloration of the rabbit might be similar to that of cookies and cream. Yeah.
I'm telling you, you learn something with these. I learned something with the next one. Florida skinny pigs. This is a real thing.
Skinny pigs.
Yeah. Not that, yeah. Because they're not pigs that you would think like Wilbur and Cassio. They're basically hairless like guinea pigs.
I saw one of those at the pet store the other day, and I was surprised by the name. I had never heard of that before.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking it's something else really funny that somebody just typed in, but it's, I get surprised every time I do this list that people are looking for this. All right, the next one, I don't know if we can actually say on YouTube, although lately on YouTube and Facebook, everybody seems to be saying the 7 words you weren't allowed to say on TV or radio way back in the day, but now everybody says the F word, the S word, the 4-letter words. This one we kind of put in a percentage sign because I have no idea what they were looking for. This one I just can't explain. But you can see it. It's a Uffenberger. It's almost like I'm not sure what they were trying to spell. But it amused me. Like the next one amused our guy, Matt, our producer here. What's this one, Camille?
Tampa Bat SPCA.
So that's it. That's part of his whole setup here in the production studio. But our wildlife team does take in bats, but I think they were trying to type in Tampa Bay SPCA instead of SPCA Tampa Bay. And they still found us because of the whole wildlife rescue that we have as well. How about the next one? You take the next one because this is an easy answer.
Will the SPCA spay my dog? Yes.
Yes. It's a yes or no question. And it's yes. We have a chief veterinarian that has more than 20,000 dogs and cats, but not just dogs. I wonder if Dr. Lopez broke that down. You're going to have to ask Dr. Lopez if he's broke it down in between the species.
I will, yeah.
Okay, we'll have an answer on the next podcast. Maybe, maybe not. All right, what about the next one? This one, you got this one, Camille.
YouTube SPCA Tampa Bay. Ooh, we're trying to find a podcast.
That's right. Subscribe, hit the notifications button. That way you know when we're going live. We are going to be changing up the podcast. It may not be every 2 to 3 weeks, Tuesday at 10:30 with some of those special events coming up. We could be going live. We will be going live at some of these special events. I mean, I'm the chief marketing officer. That's pretty much, what do you want to do, Eric? Let's set this schedule. All right, number 2. I think we already saw that one pop up. Zeus Dog for adoption. Zeus dog. You Google that. I mean, you're getting, yes. He was actually a famous dog named Zeus. Obviously, you know, a Great Dane.
Mhm.
But man, can you imagine that being in your house?
I
A
cannot.
dog that big, or even half that size, is still huge.
Yep. I'm a
Yeah,
small person. I can't imagine even having a normal sized dog.
With your office, Camille, and your little couch that you brought in, where did you buy that again?
I just
That was
found it on Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook.
It's perfect for something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that dog, he or she would just take up the entire, there's no way. Yeah, unbelievable. And the last one is my favorite because it dates me. It's the Animal House Pet Store, which actually is a real pet store in the area. But as soon as I saw Animal House, I'm thinking the movie, which you haven't seen, right?
No.
I tell you, don't know, folks, how many times I will reference great movies like Animal House, Beverly Hills Cop, Back to the Future. And my staff looks at me like, what language is this man speaking? I give them homework assignments. And they just look at me like, that homework I am going to fail because they are not watching.
I promise I'll get on at least Animal House. I'll watch that one.
It's a great family movie. Matt just laughed. It's not a family movie. It's an entertaining movie. I think it was the 70s or 80s. It's very old, but it's still hanging around. Google it, Camille, and you'll probably, yes, you won't laugh. You'll just be like, that's just the chief marketing officer. Anything else to add from down there at St. Pete?
I just want to say that if you would like to tune in to some of the Olympics events, I will be posting on the Facebook page today, maybe even trying out Facebook Live. So if you want to get some updates on how the staff here are doing with those challenges, you can definitely tune into that.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to do that. I might even hop down there live and in person and do my own play-by-play. Maybe not.
That would be great, yeah.
I'm just kidding. Again, like the top 10 list, it would be just for my amusement as well. But remember, folks, it may be the only Olympics that happens, and it's right down there in St. Pete. For Camille, for Matt, for Laura, who chimed in, for Sharon, thanks for watching podcast number 4. Remember, go to our website and find out the schedule at spcatampabay.org and hit that donate today button. We could use your assistance, and so could our 7,000 animals that we have annually in our care. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next podcast, everybody.